You have something that has amazing value in your possession. And what you have in your possession is gold. I'm not talking about your jewelry or your gold bars. I'm talking about your story. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to write your gold. Yes, I am Alvelyn Sanders Swafford. I am a writer, a published author, and an award-winning filmmaker and journalist. And I help new and faith-based writers write their first book. You've thought about it, you've prayed about it, you've pondered it, you know it's a calling in your spirit to not only write but to write a book. But maybe what's been happening is that you've been looking around, seeing what other folks were doing, comparing yourself to other books that are out there or other authors that are there. Maybe you have some personal friends and they're doing their own book tour. You look up on TV, you see them there, or you see them on the social medias. They just got it going on. So how can I do that? You can do the same thing, but do it with your story, with your gold. Several years ago, I was given some wonderful, long-lasting advice by the late, incredible, best-selling writer and author, Tina McElroy-Anza. She shared with me as a writer, she said, Alvelyn, write your gold. My what? Your gold. Your gold is your story, your life's journey, your unique experiences, your perspective, not anyone else's, yours. Your gold is your gold. Someone else's gold is their gold, and we all have our gold, but write your gold. So I'm going to walk you through an exercise that I believe will help you write your gold as you prepare to write your first book. Before I tell you how to do that, please allow me to invite you to join me in a community I've created. It is called the Write Your First Book Collective. The Write Your First Book Collective. And it's on a platform called Skool, Skool. I'll put the link in the description of how you can join me and other writers in this community, all coming together, these writers to work together to write their first book. I put weekly prompts in there to spark you, to get you writing, and upload modules to help you go through the process of writing your first book. So it's called the Write Your First Book Collective, and it's on Skool. So I hope you'll join me there. Okay, so now, what do you do to write your goals? All right, I've got some notes here that I'm going to take a look at. So I want to walk you through some specific things that I believe will help you write your gold. You ready? Okay, first thing is this. I want you to make a list of 10 impactful events in your life. 10 impactful events in your life. These can be joyous events, or they can be moments in history that you've witnessed or been a part of. They can also be events that you have, from which you have healed or recovered. So make a list of 10 impactful events in your life. Then once you make that list, once you review it, take some time looking at the 10 things that you have written down, the 10 events. Select 3 of those events. So we're going from 10 to 3 now. And then write brief notes about each of those 3 events. Not collectively, but from the list of 10, pick 3. And then for each of those, in that list of 3, then write brief notes about those particular events. Then from the 3, select 1. So you're starting with 10 impactful events in your life, joyous occasions, events in history that you witnessed or that you were a part of, events or things which you have recovered or healed from, anything that's impacted your life, big or small, 10. Then of the 10, you're choosing 3 from that list. And of those 3, For each one of those, you're making brief notes about each of those events. Then from the 3, here we are now, you're going to choose one. And then of that one event, you're going to write an essay about that impactful event in your life. I want you to share what you remember from that event. I want you to include physical details like where you were, what were you wearing, who was with you, the city, the scene. Paint the scene for us. And then include how this event impacted your life. Share what you may have learned since then or discovered about yourself or others during that event or since then. Now, what does this do? This exercise does 2 things for you. First, it allows you to reflect on your life. You may have more than 10 events that have impacted your life. Most of us likely do, but you're choosing 10. First thing it does, it allows you to reflect on your life, to spend some time thinking about your life, to spend some time sitting with yourself. We were so busy day in and day out. Often we don't even have a chance to sit with ourselves and just think about who we are and things we've accomplished and things we've been through, our trials and our tribulations. Sometimes we take things for granted that we've accomplished that are really amazing feats. Sometimes we've done so many things we forget. You've forgotten some things that we've done in our life that have been quite impactful. The second thing this practice allows you to do is it gives you practice in writing your goal. Remember, this video is about writing your goals, embracing your gold, honoring your gold, your wisdom, your knowledge, your perspective, your experiences, your life's journey thus far, even as you look ahead to where you want to go next. Honor your gold. Okay, so now that you have your gold in hand, now what do I do? Well, take a look at what you have written, your experiences, and then look at the layer behind what you have recorded, the layer behind that particular experience. What do I mean by that? You may, for instance, let's say you write about running your first marathon. That's an impactful event because you felt great when you completed it. All right, so that's the experience. But what are the layers behind that experience? What led you to running that marathon? Where did the marathon take place? Did you have to travel to get there? Had you ever been to that particular place before when you ran the marathon? Did your family support you, or did they think you were out of your mind? And if so, why did they think you were out of your mind? Or how did you feel if they did support you? What was the training process like for you to get ready for that marathon? It's a lot that goes into that process. Maybe it's something from your childhood. You always wanted to run a marathon and now you get a chance to do it. Or maybe you were teased growing up of always being too slow or having some other issue, and you want to prove to others that, hey, look what I did. Or maybe you felt like you don't keep promises to yourself, and so you promised yourself you were going to run this marathon, and then you did it. So there are layers behind that experience. What are the layers there? Now, when you look at the impactful event that you wrote about, your gold, your story, you honoring an experience that you had in your life, an impactful event, what I want you to do now then is consider, is that a topic that can be expanded into a book? Or if you've already started a book, is that a topic that can be incorporated into what you've written, or a chapter that can be in a book that you've already started? So for instance, if you're writing a memoir, had you considered that marathon when you were thinking about the memoir that you're working on, and the layers behind that, the implications of running that marathon, what it meant to you, what it meant to your family, to your friends, how you felt on the inside? Or is it a nonfiction book that you're writing about a particular topic, and the essay that you selected to write, is that something that can serve as a further illustration? If you want to, let's say, if you're writing a nonfiction book about self-esteem or perseverance, or how to navigate the challenges of life, then can you tell your story of running a marathon to help someone else navigate a challenge in life? Just using that as an example. Think about again what you learned from that experience, and how you can help others. So now that you have your gold in your hand, you've looked at the layers behind the gold, you've considered whether this is a topic that can be expanded into a book or used as a chapter in a book you may already be writing. Hold on to that particular essay for the revision process to come later, because you may be able to use that later to work it into a larger writing project. And then hold on to the other 9 events you did not write about, to use those to spark your writing as you go forward. But then take a deep breath and look at your list and look at your goals. Yeah, just examine it, just admire it for all that it means to who you are as a person, and what you've done in your life, and what you've overcome, and what you have achieved and accomplished, and what you live to tell about. Because sometimes our goals, like, ooh, I live to tell about it. Praise God, I live to tell about it. Take a look at it, and what it means, even for like the next generation. If you have children or nieces or nephews, do they know these impactful events that have happened in your life? When you do this exercise, I'm going to encourage you to set some time aside to focus on this writing exercise, to find a place and time that you can go and give this your full attention. If you cannot do it at home, because your home may be very busy, then take some time to go to a local coffee shop or go to public library. Public libraries still exist. They're great places to go, and find the one in your neighborhood and get a table there and just spend some time to focus on this, because this is your gold, and I want you to become comfortable with it and the beauty of it, and to recognize it and to honor it. And that will open up for you even more possibilities as you think about writing your first book, and think about your story, your unique story that you can tell, and that it matters. Yes, your story matters, your goals matters. So as you get started on writing your first book, remember to write your gold, because you have something to say and someone needs to hear it.